Hey everybody, welcome, happy Friday. And I am 1 minute early, so I'm gonna just kind of leave a little time for people to jump on. And my hope tonight is that we can have a conversation. I think I mentioned that last night. Let's talk about it. I'm here, I'm open, and as long as you put some comments down, say hello, put a happy face, an angry face, a love sign, whatever, just say something so I know you're here. And let's have a conversation about body shaming. And this is part 2. So it's going to be a little different manner of talking about it tonight. Not quite so emotional, so that's a good thing. So I'm going to go ahead and get started, and then hopefully people will start to jump on. So, I had a friend last night that mentioned something about when we talk about body shaming, we really need to talk about our spouses. And I touched on it briefly, but I really think that that's something to really be aware of. I'm going to start with dating, because if you are talking to your kids about dating, or you yourself are dating, it's important to really look at what we teach people how to treat us. So if we're having conversations with people and we're allowing them to be rude or to be judgmental or to put us down in that relationship, it's not healthy, and you need to hit the road, Jack, because they're not the right person for you. The right person for you is going to lift you up. Maybe not 100% of the time, but in those times where they don't, the difference in that and putting you down is completely opposite. When people are putting you down or saying something about you that's negative, it's usually a reflection of something that's within themselves that they're not happy about. And there's nothing you can do to fill that cup up to make them feel better enough about themselves to where they can lift you up. Okay, so now if you're already in a marriage with someone and they are body shaming you, my recommendation is tell them it is rude and it's not okay. And I expect you to never do it again. And if they continue to do it, then I would just let them know that, look, this is not acceptable. And if you're going to continue to do it, we need to go for some counseling, because I'm not going to be around it. And the other thing is that teaches your kids what to accept, and it also teaches them how to treat other people. So think about, and maybe that's a conversation to have. You don't want to get into a battle about it with your spouse or your loved one, because maybe you're having the conversation and you're belittling them because they're belittling you, and that just becomes a battle that you'll never, ever, ever win. So I think it's important to really love yourself, value yourself, and set healthy boundaries. You might want to walk away. Who knows what the case may be, but it's important to let them know that, ouch, that hurt, and it's not okay, and don't do it again. I don't care if you're joking. Usually when people say things that are directed at you in jest, if it's negative, it usually is something that they actually feel or they mean. So, and it depends on how they attack you or how they cut you. So keep that in mind. So I definitely would recommend some counseling if it's really getting bad and you're really trying to fix your marriage and stay in your marriage. Because chances are, if they're body shaming you or they're talking bad about you, then there's other stuff going on where they may be mistreating you. Might be an emotional abuse situation. That's a whole other conversation and something that you really need to seek counseling for. Okay, so now let's talk about having conversations with people. Now, if your spouse is trying to have a conversation with you about the fact that they're concerned about your well-being because you keep talking about how you want to get off cholesterol medication, or how you don't want to have to take diabetes medication, or you're worried about your heart, or you're worried about cancer, and they're showing you concern about you, not about your physicality, not about your body, that's a different situation. And it's okay to ask your partner not to fix you, but just to listen. But if you're complaining and complaining over and over and over about something that you're not wanting to fix, they're going to get tired of hearing it over and over and over too. So keep that in mind as you're having those conversations. But let's say you're talking with your spouse and you're concerned about your spouse or a friend or a family member who is anorexic or who is obese or who is bulimic and they're having problems. The best thing that you can do is to lift them up. Be a beacon of hope for them. Be a beacon of light. Be a support system. Be a person of encouragement. Maybe when you suggest to go out to do something, make it a physical activity if they're obese. If they're anorexic, maybe make it around, you don't want to make it around food because that's just going to make it worse. Make it around shopping or something that they really enjoy. And support and encourage, because I guarantee you, you're not going to be able to change them. You can pray for them, but you've got to let it go. You don't have the power to tell someone who's obese or overweight to fix it. Only they can fix it, and they can only fix it when they are ready. And you shaming them or trying to convince them to do it is only going to damage your relationship and push you away. And it's not going to help anybody. So the best thing that you could do is to be a good example. Now, with that said, I'm going to say don't enable, particularly when it comes to obesity. Do not enable people. So if your friend says, let's get together and go out for ice cream and cake, or, donuts and ice cream, well, then you can say, you know what, thank you for the invitation. I feel more like going out for a walk. Would you be interested in a walk or a kayak trip or something of that nature? See if you can kind of gently guide them in the direction of something that's more physical. And if not, don't go. Don't just give in, because if you give in, then they're manipulating you and you're enabling them. So that's one thing. The other thing is don't manipulate people. Don't manipulate your friends, because you're never ever going to win in that situation. It's just like convincing. Just accept them for who they are and love them where they are, and tell them it's okay if they're complaining about their health and you're saying, okay, if there's a way I can help you, or I can support you, or I can be a source of encouragement, that's what I want to be. That's the kind of sister, that's the kind of brother, that's the kind of friend, that's the kind of spouse I want to be. And that's really the best that you have to offer. That's all you can do. The rest is out of your hands. So you got to keep that in mind. Okay, so topic number 3, part of this series in this tonight, is going to be about the ways that we body shame and we don't even realize it. And I'm not talking about just even shaming our friends or our family. And I'm going to just tell you, it has to stop when it comes to our friends and our family, because you're not perfect and neither are they. Love yourself, love your friends, accept them where they are. Same goes for celebrities. It's one of the things that I think really grinds at me the most is when I hear a celebrity talking about how, gosh, I can't get a break. I'm too heavy because I had a baby, or I'm too heavy because I'm a human and I'm gaining weight, or I'm too thin because I've lost weight. So it seems like no matter what, we put such a big ideal image of that person in our head, and we hold them to such a high standard that they can't live up to it. And unfortunately they try, and that's where they end up becoming bulimic or anorexic, or maybe even obese. They usually will have some sort of food issue or other issues, other health issues even. So we need to start treating celebrities as people, because guess what? People, they are just like you. They're people. And just because they have more money or access to certain things doesn't mean that snap their fingers and they can be perfect. It's just not something that's attainable. It's not attainable for you. It's not attainable for them. So we need to stop body shaming celebrities. And we need to start loving and accepting them the way we want to be loved and accepted ourselves. So cut it out, because you get what you give. So if you're giving out negative vibes to people, you're going to get that back. So stop doing it. Start being positive, making sure that you are giving people love, that you're pouring out love and acceptance and encouragement to people, edifying them, lifting them up. Remember, I talked about that last night. So that's going to be the end of this part of the series, just so you know. I will be posting a blog about some of this. I'm still catching up on blogs, so I really apologize. But stay tuned. Look for my blog at carolwardfitness.com. I will have some blogs up over the weekend and going into next week. I'm hoping to be all caught up. I will say this, tomorrow we're going to talk briefly about body image, because I think how we view ourselves is what we put off to other people, and I really want to make sure that you're paying attention to that, and that you really start to fall in love with this gift of a body that God has given you, and you really start to picture yourself through God's eyes and not through this ideal image that we all try to place on one another. Okay, so thanks, Brittany, for tuning in. I'm sorry, I'm just getting ready to get off, but hi, I miss you guys. Been thinking about you, and I hope everything's going well with you guys. And I'm saying prayers for you, because I know things have been tough. Anyway, I will be seeing you guys here at some point tomorrow. It might even just be during the day for a quick hello to talk about body image. All right, have a great evening, and if I miss you, have a fantastic weekend. Take care, bye.